Today's podcast is brought to you by our friends over at SmartDeploy. You can check them out for a flexible IT solution that is designed for the modern workplace. Check out smartdeploy.com/FRD. Speaking of...
So, I have a couple of interesting surprises here.
Well, the first interesting surprise is I think every time you've logged in and I've called you for this podcast, you've either been on a boat, near a hot air balloon, a building, and now you're casually laying on a couch.
Right. So we're in it's a very nice Airbnb. It's a very big Airbnb. It's in the center of the hood here in Mexico City, but it's fantastic. It's just chaotic and loud and whatever. But my kids are asleep in rooms on either side of me. My wife's taking a shower, and I'm in this room because it's next to the room with the router, and I wanted to get the best possible connection. Right. So I tested.
We appreciate your sacrifices.
That's right. 40. By the way, from here, Wi-Fi through through what is probably a concrete wall. 40 over 50 megabits per second.
Not bad.
Not bad. But the big surprise is, I'm using the laptop that died to do this podcast.
What?
Yep. This is like walking between two buildings on a wire without a net. Because I got to tell you, this thing should not be working right now. And just based on the behavior, I maybe not literally every single day, but almost every single day, I just as a matter of course, you go through, you do your things in the morning, and I'm like, hit the power button, see what the little orange and white light does. You're like, yep, it's still dead. And this whole experience has been strange. Obviously, I can never trust this computer again, but it's interesting to me that it died. Came back long enough for me to post an article where I had to use it to take screenshots and everything. That was funny. So that worked. And then it died again. It's exhibited different, it doesn't matter what all the symptoms are, but I think it was yesterday. I just going through the room. I'm like, all right, boop. And it's like, oh, the HP logo came up. I'm like, yep, it's going to die. And then the Windows 11 startup, those new sounds it makes. I was like, huh. And it kind of came on, and, the battery wasn't charging fully before. Battery fully charged. So the reason I wanted to try, I might actually use this on Windows Weekly today, which,
Wow, you enjoy just...
I know.
Looking into the sun.
But there were a handful of reasons I brought this. It has the nano SIM card, so I can use my Google Fi data if it ever actually worked. I'll never use it now because now we're in a place with great Wi-Fi. It doesn't matter. But I figured out in the world maybe that would be valuable. It was dead. It didn't matter. It has Windows 11 on it. I know I'm going to be writing about Windows 11. New builds occurred as they did. By the way, I also updated. It's the latest build, belatedly. And the other one is this really bugs me. Like 2 weeks of waiting to use this thing for a podcast. It has a 5 megapixel web camera. It's supposed to be way better than the normal 720p webcam you get on basically every other laptop. This is not a good quality video at all.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't bother. I don't know. But I just want to, like I said, I can't trust it. I'll probably pack it in my luggage, which I carry on. I would never check a computer, but I probably won't weigh down my laptop bag with this because I'm absolutely not going to use it on the plane. So what's the difference? But I wanted to use this computer this whole trip, and I haven't been able to. And here it is.
Yeah. Well, that's All I keep thinking going through my head is I bet there's a lot of rice in Mexico you could find to put that thing into. But
I probably almost certainly will still open this thing up, right? Like I really do want to look inside and just, I don't know. I can't even imagine what condition exists that this thing would now power on if it hadn't been powering on for the past, 10 days, whatever it is, 10 days. I don't know. I'm confused by it. But here we are.
Life's a mystery or something, I think is what the kids say.
Like a Madonna song, life is a mystery.
I think it is.
Okay.
Well,
anyway.
I try to think of something snarky. I'm happy for you. You're coming home. I got nothing. I got no burners here other than you. I mean, you're doing it to yourself. You're using.
I am doing it to myself. That should be the title of my autobiography. I did it to myself.
Other things that were done to themselves is Google somewhat quietly, I guess, announced the Pixel 5a. And then they also very conveniently followed up to a tweet that I put out from 130 days ago.
That is amazing. I had to chime in on that one. I was like, that is just beautiful.
For people who don't stare at Twitter all day, God bless you. But about 131 days ago now, exactly, there was a headline that came out that says Google cancels Pixel 5a because of chip shortage. And then there was a headline like 2 hours later, it says Google confirms Pixel 5a. And I called it Schrodinger's Pixel because it's neither here nor live. And Google followed up to that tweet 130 days later and said, hey, we like the analogy. You can learn more about the...
All right, so you of all people, though, have to appreciate Google doing that because you also have a nice habit of remembering things that are like, from the past.
Putting it on the calendar.
Right. And the fact that like you almost get the idea that whoever runs that Made by Google account was like, you know what, let's put this one aside because we know we're going to release it eventually and then we're going to come back and say something. Because they couldn't confirm it then. That wouldn't have made sense.
Right.
So I just, by the way, in great reference to in the tweet, but I just love when an official account does something like that. I just think that was I thought that was really funny. I just thought that was good.
Yeah. If you're looking for other things that are really good, by the way, you should check out this message from our friends over. I'm pointing at SmartDeploy's logo, not here, but it's not here, but it would be. Just imagine it, just like this little segment. The modern workplace requires modern IT tools. When legacy solutions like Ghost, MDT, and Acronis SnapDeploy no longer fit the bill, try SmartDeploy's modern endpoint management solutions. Head on over to smartdeploy.com/FRD to get started with your free exclusive software worth over $570. And the reason why I pointed up here is I can't usually, and this happens, I don't know, what did you say, like every 3 weeks or so? Like my monitors get flopped. So 1 is 2 and 2 is 1, which means I can't see what's going on the screen, which means I can't actually see what's behind me, which is where their logo
you also,
would be.
This is a hard thing to describe. You could probably explain it better than me. We also have this thing where we kind of connect in the morning and we're talking, and Brad's not in front of the camera, but he's up, behind, or by the camera, I guess. And I can hear him, and we talk, and he sets things up, and then he sits down. And right as he sits down, then the camera thing just completely screws up, and you get that like infinity effect where it's like Brad, And that's going to happen like what, once every 2 weeks at least? I mean,
something like that. It's got to be a way, something to do with how the monitors connect to the graphics card. I don't know, like one of them turns on late, like didn't have its cup of coffee before we started this, and like it doesn't boot up as fast or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So other things that are happening, which honestly I was a little shocked by this one, is that Amazon retail sales surpassed Walmart. I thought honestly that happened a long time ago, but apparently
that's what I thought too. And obviously there are people that follow the markets and whatever, and they've been watching for this to happen and waiting for it to happen. And they're also using a kind of a bizarre 12-month period. It's like the preceding 12 months. It's not January, December.
I see. No, nothing's wrong. I see when you said that they picked their own time scale of.
Yeah. They've been waiting for this to slip into a place where, Amazon. And the other issue here, by the way, is that Walmart explicitly reports their sales retail-wise because that's their business, but Amazon doesn't. So those are based on estimates and you get into all kinds of weird things when you have estimates on any kind of sale. So whatever, but Amazon as a retailer, because Amazon obviously has other businesses as well, apparently surpassed Walmart. So, but yeah, like you, I thought it happened already.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, and so you are headed home tomorrow?
Thursday, which is tomorrow. Yeah.
Thursday. Yes. So very.
I feel like I've been here for 3 months. Like this has been the most. Oh boy. No, you just froze a little there. So many technical problems. There's probably it's a little droplet of water hitting the modem.
Yeah, you wonder, like, is it the internet connection? Is there something going on? Is there just life in general?
I guess it's the internet connection. Although, like I said, this place has the best connection we found. When I go in and connect to the wire, it's even faster and hopefully more solid. That's the connection I used, by the way. We had a call yesterday at work. That's what I did yesterday. I connected to the Ethernet. And you probably didn't pay attention to my connection per se, but I assume and hope it was okay.
There we go. Everything is all okay. And if you're looking for solutions to help deploy Windows 10, make sure to check out our friends over at SmartDeploy. It's 47% faster than Semantic Ghost and 100% worth it. Go to smartdeploy.com/FRD, and we'll catch all of you right back here on the next episode.